I can see it now. Someone just busting in through a left-wing news place. Oh my God, there's been a shooting in Austin. Let's use this to push gun reform. Then it comes in. Wait, he's black? Oh no! Well, second again, salutations, my lovely little lunatics. It's me, your friendly internet psychopath Insanity, here with my co-host Bob.
Hello.
And before we start today's insane report, make sure to like and subscribe.
Also, follow us on Locals,
Rumble,
Minds,
and PocketNet. Anyways, so, there was a terrible, terrible tragedy in Austin these past few days. A mass shooting. And I think the biggest thing about how all this came about is how each side handled the situation.
News-wise?
Yes.
Let me guess. The left, it didn't fit the narrative correctly.
No, it didn't.
Let me guess, he wasn't white.
Nope. Turns out that this person who shot up all these poor people
And killed one.
Yes. 13 wounded, 1 dead.
Apparently the poor man suffered greatly.
That's also really sad. But the thing, once again, that really angers me about all this is we all know that they wanted so badly for this to be a white guy.
Yeah, didn't they actually just not even, they were like trying to be holier than thou?
Yes, they were saying, due to this maybe pushing stereotypes, we're not going to talk about who actually did it.
You know if it was a white guy.
Yeah, just like Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh yeah, he's underage and boom, everyone jump on him.
Yeah. But yeah, because it is a black man or a black teenager.
Wait. So, he's underage.
Yes.
And they're pushing gun reform, aren't they?
Yes.
So how is gun reform actually going to make it so that an underage kid can't have a gun?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't think. And stupid.
We don't. Anyways, let's get on to it. Boop. From KXAN. I don't know, someplace. Anyhow. Argument involving teens escalated to Austin mass shooting on Main Street, affidavit said. This is the individual.
Yeah, he's definitely not white.
Yeah, he's not. Jeremiah Roshan Leland James Tabb, 17 years old. And also, before we go anywhere, to buy a gun, you must be 18. This is in Texas. To buy a rifle, you must be 18. To buy a pistol, you must be 21. You can legally own a pistol or rifle at 18, but you cannot carry it. You cannot get a concealed license until you are 21. So, put more gun laws out. It's gotta do something, isn't it? Austin, an argument between two groups of teens on East 6th Street escalated to a shooting that killed 1 person and injured 13 others. June 12th, an arrest affidavit from the Austin Police Department said. APD says Tabb pulled a gun from his waistband and he and his crew walked by another group of people, exchanged words, and then they started shooting. The affidavit says, The affidavit says, as the group Tabb was in, walked by the other group, Tabb said, "What y'all doing? Y'all want to fight?" A minor from the other group replied with, "It's whatever." And then the affidavit said that's when Tabb pulled his gun and just started shooting.
Dear Lord, what is wrong with these people?
They're just terrible people out in this world. What you gonna do? The same minor said Tabb shot him in the leg a few days before. Oh my Lord! In killing, the affidavit said. A police from Killeen police supported the minor's claim that Tabb was the primary suspect in that shooting as well. The police told KXAN on June 8th officers were called to Harker Heights Hospital to talk to a teen who had been shot. The victim told them he was outside a home in Toledo Drive when the dark-colored sedan drove by and shots fired towards him. Police are looking into the potential suspects, department said Wednesday. Another minor police interviewed in Austin said the group immediately started running away and heard gunshots behind him. We'll just jump down here. The shooting killed 25-year-old Douglas Kantor, who was visiting Austin, and injured 13 others. One of the 13 who was injured, identified by family members to KXAN as Jessica Ramirez, was fighting for her life in the hospital after being shot. Family members said she needed back surgery because of her injuries. Tab was the second person arrested in connection with the shooting. Police arrested the first person, only identified as a minor, on June 13th. Tab is currently charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and according to jail records, he is in custody at the Travis County Jail. Attorney information for Tab was not immediately available. Blah, 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 blah. Now, I think that other individual, identified on June 13th. I think the other individual mentioned here might be the one they were originally talking about. Although every time I looked around at other like left-leaning sites, no one mentioned this guy. So we don't know. But this is the poor man who lost his life because of that idiot. From the Daily Mail. Ford IT worker, 25, dies in agony a day after he was gunned down during mass shooting that left 13 others wounded in Austin, as brother reveals he suffered from the time of the injury until the time of death.
Yeah, he was shot in the stomach, right?
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, God, I can't. When we busted our liver, that was the most unimaginable pain we have ever suffered.
Yeah, no, get rid of all the, like, actual mental, like, stuff of the torturing in hell and all that. It's different between that, where your mind makes up the pain, to actually having your liver shattered.
Yeah, you kept screaming yourself into unconsciousness.
Yeah. The only thing I can look back fondly on that is apparently I didn't make girly screams.
No, you actually terrified most of the nurses, and they thought you were about to rip off your restraints and go completely bloodthirsty.
Oh, God, no, I could barely move. Douglas John Kantor has died after being gunned down during a mass shooting. He was one of the 14 in the crossfire of shooting between two other groups. He had been planning to marry his high school sweetheart of 10 years.
Wow, they were 15 when they met.
That's really sad. Kantor's brother Nick said his late sibling's injury was gruesome. Nick added that Douglas suffered horrific pain until he died. The incident left more than a dozen people injured. A 25-year-old IT worker has died in agonizing pain. Yes. Douglas Kantor, 25, who was hospital with critical gunshot wounds. He died 36 hours later. He was one of the 14. He was shot in the abdomen just below the rib cage, straight through.
Oh.
Yeah, stomach shot like that through and through. That could be a problem. I don't know, but I'm imagining if the bullet stayed inside, maybe it wouldn't have ripped everything out the back. I don't know. But God, I can't imagine.
He suffered from the time of his injury until the time of death. It was the most gruesome thing I could ever wish on someone. It's painful to discuss, but I think the public deserves to know my brother suffered.
Yeah, it is. It is perfectly reasonable for the people to know that this poor man died a horrible death due to these idiots. Interim Police Chief Joseph Chacon, or how you say it, said the shooting happened around 1:30 a.m. Saturday on a street packed with bars and barricaded off from vehicle traffic. He said investigators believe the shooting began a dispute between two parties, with those struck by bullets caught in the crossfire. He said at least one suspect was arrested. The department provided no other details other than to say it's continuing to follow up on leads for a second suspect who is at large, and the investigation is still ongoing. The mass shooting, one of at least 3 in the U.S. overnight Saturday, sparked panic along 6th Street, a popular nightlife destination city that's home to the University of Texas. Poor lady. I feel awful for these people. And then, you've got the second juvenile suspect is arrested in connection with the shooting. I don't think they're going to say anything here. Oh, maybe this. No, so the first one I think was the one no one was going to say anything about. because this is Tab. He was arrested. Yeah, God. Just. It's horrible. It's horrible. But, the thing that gets me the most angry about all this?
Is it the fact that the left originally didn't want to say anything about it?
No. Well, that's a big thing.
Is it the fact that we know they're gonna push gun grabbing and reform and all that for this? Oh, Lord.
After Austin mass shooting, Democrats called for gun control and urge Abbott to veto permitless carry bill.
Knew it.
Knew it! Austin's mass shooting early Saturday renewed pleas from Texas Democrats for gun control measures and for Governor Greg Abbott to veto a bill that would end the requirement to obtain a permit to carry handguns. Now, before we do anything, I want to check something. How many states have permitless carry? Chart of which states allow permitless carry. Whatever. I don't. Go away. Scroll up. Okay. So. None. Concealed carry, open carry prohibited. Concealed carry, open, and concealed carry. Which states allow the permitless carry of guns? Wait. Oh, okay. So there's no. So okay. So we've got a few. We have a few. At least I think. Anywho. But yeah. So, Texas isn't the only place that has this. Or is going to have this. And here's the big thing about all of this. Once again, underage should not have the gun, period. He is not allowed to have it, and definitely not allowed to carry it. So yeah, more gun reform's gonna fix that.
The instant they realize that criminals don't follow laws is the instant we all can start dealing with the actual problems.
Yeah. Also, the funniest thing is, you talk about a bunch of, they talk about how much mass, gun violence and all, they always they lump in suicide with these things. But they don't lump in, in mass See, gun violence, suicide is lumped in. But mass shooting, gang violence is not lumped in. And if I remember, mass shootings involves 3 or more people. Which usually gangs involve 3 or more people when they're shooting at each other, just like this. But here's the thing. Once again, okay, permitless carry passes. Guess what? You still can't just walk in and buy a gun with no background check.
Oh yeah, remember that one time the one leftist reporter tried to go get a gun and they were like, nope.
Yeah, that was hilarious. They were talking about, oh, it's so easy. And then she got denied. You still need to pass the background check to get a gun. The whole thing about the whole carrying license and all that stuff, that's just another extra thing. It's not going to stop these individuals from shooting other people because they're not following the laws. They do not care. So all you're doing is hurting normal people. And here's the big thing. An armed society is a polite society. And you best bet if this law passes, along with the suppressor law, and and the Second Amendment sanctuary state status, you best know, A, I'm going to go get me a suppressor. B, I'm going to be carrying. It's so absolutely backwards clown world stuff. And it just needs to change. It's mind-numbing.
Yeah, well, hopefully eventually this all calms down.
Yeah, the problem is, what we need now is we need Republicans to stop slowing the Democrats down and straight up just push back. Because here's the thing. Leftists demand UBI. They demand they censor speech. They demand Medicare for all. What is the right demanding? The right is saying, no, stop. The right should demand that all demand 230 reform. The right should demand that every law against the NFA, all of that stuff, the ATF should be the ATF should not be allowed to make any kind of laws, especially now because they're coming back for braces.
Yeah, and our braced AR would immediately get us in trouble.
Yep, no, my braced AR pistol in 300 blackout is illegal by these new standards. I have to go and actually get an NFA. I have to go and register it and all that stuff, and there's no way in hell I'm doing that. That's really why I want the Texas stuff to pass. Also, I really want to get a suppressor.
Oh, suppressor on a 300 blackout would be amazing.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's going to be the end of this little ranty video. But if you like this video, then check the like button and subscribe for more.
Insanity.
And I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.
Buzzers.
Subscribe.